Answer. Because you are that, you are capable. You are gifted, and you are soon to be opinionated. It's okay to be different. And it's so okay to just be. The world awaits to receive you.
Blessings, and good evening, everyone. Happy evening and happy Sabbath. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk, and you're here with your host, Grace Levi. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something very important, something that I think the Black community should pay attention to, especially in times like this. What we're going to be doing is re-highlighting some aspects of a few cases that took place over the last 6 to 7 years. So now what we're going to do is get into Kendrick Johnson. All right, so Kendrick Johnson is another case that really bothered me. If you follow up, you can follow his mother on Facebook, and she's a Georgia resident. And this gentleman, young boy, he was a baby in high school, and he was found unalived in a rolled up mat. Okay. And this was very troubling because of the findings. Again, I'm stating these particular cases because I do believe the FBI intervention should have took place, and if it did take place, the actual investigation was severely blotched. So here goes another case right here with Kendrick Johnson that's basically highlighting a blotch investigation. Now, this was 11 years ago. I want to send love and blessings to his parents. We're going to put this CNN clip on the stage. I want to say thank you guys for being here, giving respect to the parents. These cases are not old. It's not old to them because, again, they never got recompense, and again, they're still outstanding. So this is what made me say, is justice or just us? So let's play this.
Tonight, Victor Blackwell has exclusive information, some disturbing new evidence, photos and videos that only raise more questions. And we do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is graphic, difficult to watch. Here's Victor's report.
It's the only video shot inside the Lowndes High School gym the day 17-year-old Kendrick Johnson was found dead. And with his parents' approval, we're showing it for the first time. Lowndes County, Georgia investigators say Kendrick's death was a tragic accident, that he climbed onto these rolled gym mats to reach for this shoe at the center of one mat, slipped, got stuck upside down, and died. County officials say the blood in this photo spilled after Kendrick's heart had stopped pumping hours after he had died. But Kendrick's parents say the photo and the video show something else.
There's enough evidence to show that Kendrick was murdered.
CNN has exclusively obtained the 15-minute video and nearly 700 photos of the scene taken by Lowndes County investigators. And for the first time, Kendrick's parents, Kenneth and Jacqueline Johnson, are ready to look at them, including these pictures of orange and black gym shoes investigators found just yards from Kendrick's body.
Did these shoes belong to Kendrick?
No.
When you look at these shoes that were at the scene, what stands out to you?
The blood on the shoe.
But investigators say tests show the stains are something other than blood. So the shoes were not collected as potential evidence.
Wow.
I don't understand why.
CNN took the photos to independent private investigator and former FBI special agent Harold Kopis.
If you were on this scene, would this have been something you would have left?
No. Bag and tag.
There's no indication investigators ever even looked for the owner of the shoes or this hooded sweatshirt found a few feet from Kendrick's body.
Wow.
And if you look real close, there's something on this particular cuff. And then the question is, was it blood? Did you test it?
According to the crime lab report, no.
They know something happened in that gym, and they don't want it to come out.
For the Johnsons, there's no stronger indicator than this photo. It's of what appears to be blood dripping down a wall. Here's what Lowndes County Lieutenant Stride Jones told CNN about that wall in May.
And we tested it, and it was blood. And then we did DNA testing, and it was not the blood of Kendrick Johnson.
If it wasn't Kendrick blood, who blood was it?
Did you ever find out who it was or any involved?
No,
where
as
it
of,
came
as of
from?
now, we haven't, no. But it
Okay.
doesn't appear to be related to our crime in any way.
What do you think about the decision not to test it further?
You can't explain it. If you're running the crime scene, then you're going to say that's potential evidence. Obviously, we're going to check this out and find out who does it belong to.
This is an athletic gym. I mean, obviously, this is where they conduct various athletic classes and instructions at.
A kid couldn't have scraped their knee or arm or something and got that much blood on the wall.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 impacts.
The opinion of our crime scene personnel, after looking at it closely, the blood appeared as it had been there for an extended period of time. It didn't appear to be very fresh.
School gym. There is no way that they would allow whoever was supposed to clean this gym to leave that blood on that wall.
Thank you. We're not even safe in school. We're not even safe in school.
And there's the question, why was there no blood where they expected to see lots of blood? Remember the photo of that shoe investigators say was inches below Kendrick's head? Look at it again.
If he was inside the mat, reaching for that shoe, inside this tool, reaching for the shoe, and the shoe is beneath him, why isn't that shoe covered with blood?
And what do you think about that shoe not being covered with blood?
It was placed there.
Why was the shoe at the bottom? How would you be sliding yourself into a mat? The whole story behind this was ridiculous, and it shows us the intelligence of the Georgia Investigation Bureau. No disrespect, the lies is so ridiculously simple that a baby can see through it. That's what really kills me.
Hey,
Sheriff Ryan. Hi. Victor Blackwell, CNN.
Chris Prime.
The Sheriff's Department has denied a cover-up, but we took the Johnsons' concerns to Lowndes County Sheriff Chris Prime.
Got some questions about the Kendrick Johnson
I'm not
case.
going to discuss that with you
Why not, sir?
because our case is closed.
The family has some concerns about why some things were not taken into evidence. There was blood on the
I'm not
wall.
going to discuss the case with you
And why is that?
because I don't want to.
Then, less than a minute after he'd invited us in,
What did you not understand that I said? I'm through talking to you.
he ushered us out.
Thank you, Sheriff Prime.
This is us. Justice or just us. This is how they treat our crimes. He's a baby. He was a baby in high school. This is why I feel like us as the Black community should not have trust in this system. I don't care how much subrogation you're under or how much Stockholm syndrome you have. You know that this is not correct, the way they handle this, and the disregard and the disrespect that this sheriff even have to know that it was a young child. Even let's talk like even with the situation with the two boys where the young boy who stabbed the other boy, who we're going to be following up on. Please give me a minute to remember his name. And he a basketball player name, but you know what I'm talking about. Even in this case, when they talk about his death, they have so much sympathy for the young Caucasian little boy. But here, they have no sympathy for Kendrick, because when they look at us, our Black boys, they look at them like adults. Like, it does not matter that he looks like a child to us, but in their eyes, he's an adult. And that's why we have to change the tone with our broadcast, the way we represent our kids, the way we talk to our kids, and how we teach our kids. Honestly, we can't be blinded. That's why it's not always safe for us to be in some areas that's mixed. His town, I wouldn't even be in his town. I don't like driving past there. I won't stop to get gas, none of it, because of this particular case.
I don't believe this was an accident. I think this young man met with foul play.
The Justice Department is reviewing the pictures and the video to decide if it'll launch a federal investigation into Kendrick's death. But for Kendrick's father, the evidence is clear.
Someone murdered him. They should be in jail. They are covering it up. They should be in jail.
Victor Blackwell joins us now. So the former FBI agent says that the crime scene was contaminated. How so?
Well, Harold Copa says that it's crime scene 101, that when you're on a scene investigating, you wear the shoe protectors. Those are the blue booties you see on the crime shows on television. Well, look at these pictures. You can see here that these investigators are not wearing the shoe protectors, and it's not so much to protect the scene, rather to protect your shoes, but it's to protect the scene from anything you could track in. And Copa says because they're not wearing those protectors, this scene was obviously contaminated.
And clearly, you tried to talk to the sheriff there. They clearly didn't want to talk. Is there anyone tied to the investigation who is willing to talk?
Well, we went to speak with the superintendent of Lowndes County Schools, Wes Taylor, and we asked him about the blood on the wall and how long it had been there. Also, I mean, if the theory is true that he slipped into these mats after climbing onto the bleacher to get the shoe, are the mats still there? His answer.
My thing is, why are they showing two different shoes? This is a black and white shoe, and then the shoe that's inside of the mat is white with colors with like, bright orange in it and everything. So it's just a little weird. It's a lot of weird things that's happening with this case, but we're going to keep going because as you go on and the actual internet investigated, they found that, the people that they were allegedly trying to cover up for or saying that may have been responsible for this were FBI agents' sons, twin boys.
Answer to most of our questions, we are cooperating with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. He wouldn't go further than that.
You would think someone who works at that school would either be able to say, oh, yeah, I remember when a student, bled all over the wall in 6 different places, or not. It'd be interesting to hear if they've been talked to. What about the Department of Justice? Where are they in the status of their investigation?
The U.S. attorney in Macon, who covers this district, his name is Michael Moore, and we've spoken with him several times. And each time he says that he is reviewing the information from the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office, and he is going to work to decide if he will open a criminal investigation. Now, just a few weeks ago, we heard from the Civil Rights Division. They've said that they will not open an investigation through their department, but it still could be opened as a criminal investigation. Michael Moore says he could come up with that decision in a week or in a month. He doesn't feel rushed. He wants to make sure that he gets it right.
And we're going to find out what they decided.
10 years have passed since the...
It's so crazy because the Civil Rights Division doesn't move forward with an investigation. But when we do our investigation, we come to find out that these boys and Kendrick had issues for at least some part of the school year. And it's been brought to people's attention. And it has something to do with a girl and, that girl possibly liking Kendrick. So there's a new videos that's released. Let's play this.
We're hoping that this video would give them some answers. There was even a hashtag on Twitter, give us the tapes. But it appears that this video is only providing more questions and very few answers. We've got a couple of clips from these hours of video we've watched. Let's look at the first one. And it shows Kendrick walking in from the right side of your screen there. He's behind another student. And as soon as he runs out, you see that student disappears and a couple of other students appear. It's from one image to the next with no explanation of how those students got to that position or where the student at that red shirt went. Now, we blurred their faces because their students got to that position, or rather, it's from one image to the next with no explanation of how those students got to that position or where the student at that red shirt went. Now, we blurred their faces because they're
not even showing the actual clip they're talking about right now.
In this video and the next. Let's go to the next one. You can see Kendrick at the bottom right of the screen. He's walking at first, and then he runs out of the frame. And just like the first video, other students just appear. No explanation of how they got to that point. You don't see them walk in. We've not edited these videos to just kind of...
So basically, there's a whole big section that's missing with after Kendrick runs and possibly seeing people run after him. And then it's also a section missing with how this person shows up on the screen.
Put one image next to the other. This is how we receive them from the sheriff's office today.
So the video seems to be jumping around. You're saying those aren't edits? Is that, I assume it's a motion sensor camera. Is that the way it's supposed to work, that it may take a few seconds for an image to register?
That was our first question. When we see the images, especially of Kendrick with all these hours of video, it's like, well, what happened at the end of this and how did these students appear? Was this video edited? So we reached out to both the school that owns the cameras that recorded it and then the sheriff's office, which had a copy of it, which supplied it to us. I want to read you the statements. First, from the school district, an attorney for Lowndes County Schools
says simply, what we produce to the sheriff is a raw feed with no edits. And then from the attorney for the sheriff's office, my client has confirmed that the video was not altered or edited by anyone within the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office. They both maintain that what we see is exactly what was recorded.
I'm sorry, this really hurts me to watch it. It really bothers me because we could point out and see that the video has been altered. Is nowhere, no other shape or form or fashion to see that the video has been altered.
What about the corner where the gym mats are, or where Kendrick's body was ultimately found? I mean, that seems to be the key place. We've known there was a camera there. You saw the video from that camera today. What did you see?
Yeah, this is the most important camera of all 36, and I want to show you the video. It's blurry. Of all 36 cameras, a video that was provided, this angle is blurry. It's almost impossible to make out any of the faces.
So this is probably where you're seeing the twins, the FBI sons in here and everything.
And if you look at the corner, it's the top left of the image. Those are the mats in which Kendrick Johnson was found. What you don't see is the top of the mats. And we know why that's important, because sheriff's deputies say that he climbed in through the top of the mat. They say that the students who found him were playing on top of those mats. And in this video, because you can't see that image, you can't see that. Also, you know, we saw from one image to the next in the other videos, from looking at this, we see students playing basketball. And then a few frames later, we see what appears to possibly be the nurse running in. Then we see someone running through with a gurney. So there is, we know from the file of the investigative file, there are activities and there are events between these, but we just don't see them through what is the only blurry image, the blurry angle of all 36 cameras that were provided by the school district and the sheriff's office.
So
And I'm gonna stop there because I gotta say something very important. This is very disturbing to watch because it was a whole systematic lie and cover up with this thing. Like the video blurry, they saying that a gurney was brought in. It was a whole lot of activities that was missing. And I'm gonna be honest, this is things that us as a Black community needs to take to United Nations, because if they're not gonna do right investigations here, this, like I said, this is some of the foundations of me calling genocide on America. I have to call genocide on America because these particular case screams bloody murder. Screams, and in this particular case, it's a little bit more because you have the Fed's family involved in this. So right here is another article that says the second investigation into Kendrick Johnson death closed with no charges again.
After being caught, multiple suspects facing charges tonight after being caught under vandalizing at American Israel.
Hold on, this is not it. Let me read this right here. Over there talking about American Israel. All right, let's read this right here. The second investigation into the death of Kendrick Johnson, a 17-year-old found unalive inside a wrestling mat. And Lowndes County. I would never even stop there. County High School has been ruled an accident by the county sheriff. Again, as we see, is so many discrepancy even in the video in itself, and the feds did not take over this case. Johnson family believes the police department is covering up the murder, and the federal investigation that began in 2016 found insufficient evidence to support federal crime charges reported. However, a pathophysiologist who was hired by Johnson family to conduct an independent autopsy found Johnson cause of death was blunt force trauma to the neck, and that some of his organs were missing. The initial investigation concluded that Johnson accidentally slipped into the center of the mat while reaching for shoes and got stuck. This is how dumb the county is and the investigators for them to even say anything like this. This is how disrespectful they are to us as a Black community to even come up with a dumb, horrendous lie like that. An autopsy conducted by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation determined the cause of death was accidental. Positional asphyxiation. Right. But inconsistencies in the official report on the conditions of Kendrick's body and other discrepancy led the family and community to question the official cause of death. Johnson parents have said they think that their son was unalive. Per the new Finders Kendrick Johnson documentary, students found Johnson's body in the school on the school day morning. The documentary also noted that there was a gap found in the surveillance video of the gym where he was last seen, and we saw that it was several gaps, several gaps. The FBI investigation report brothers Brian and Brandon Bell. Now those were the two who was persons of interest but were not charged. That's why I was so much into this situation. This were people who he was already beefing with. We have the actual investigation document, but what we're going to do is going to follow up again because I do believe that Kendrick Johnson mother is still fighting right now. We're fighting right now for justice. Let me see if I can, because I always see them pop up on my feeds. Hold up. His mother is a true warrior. Her name is Jackie J. I'm just gonna put her up there real quick. I didn't get a chance to put Kanika mother up there, but Miss Jackie J. Let's just bring this to life again before we finish reading this. Miss Jackie J. Because, like I said, we have people who are very disrespectful, and they feel like, oh, people are dead, they're gone, forget about it. Just understand that's what we do here. We focus on police brutality, injustice, wrongful death. And what really made me want to talk about this was that I had people very disrespectful to the case that I follow, the case that I is helping the parents with, and they basically says that I should stop talking about Alexis and just forget about it, as though her mother doesn't care. So I want to show you guys my Alexis' mother as well, but this is Kendrick Johnson's mother. And to this day, we'll see right here. I bet you she has something about him. Today would be a great day to lock up all Kendrick Johnson killers. Literally 2 days ago. 2 days ago. She's more every day. This is 11 years. No one should ever come on my page and disrespect the mother of someone who died and say we should stop talking about that. Our community is disgusting. And the communities that talk about us and try to represent us is disgusting. I'm going to be honest. So, view her story. I know she has a story about Kendrick because she always do. Let's see on her timeline. Shout out to Miss Jackie living her life. But let's show this. God only let you think you got away for so long, then boom. 7 hours ago. Okay. Ever since your child is in a casket, there's a difference. And I mean different kind of hurt. So she's never gonna forget that. And I want you guys to know, never forget that. Okay? Never forget that. Just as though I'm going to put Cara Wilson's up there as well so you guys can understand that mothers mourn every day. This was 2 days ago. Again, this is Cara Wilson's. It says, we are not okay. After some time spent in mourning, people like to think that we're just okay. Maybe that it's a perception that time heals. Maybe there's a belief that we get over our losses. After some time mourning, we are not okay. Time does not heal. And we do not get over our losses, especially when you don't have justice and you have a system that's emboldening these animals that's doing these things. We just learn to put on our brave face. Deep down, we are still struggling. So shout out to love and blessings to Miss Carver, as well as to Kendrick Johnson's mother. And then we'll also put up Kanika Jenkins' mother Facebook. To this day, that's what I want you guys to realize. This is not just a report. These are people's lives. So again, there's two assailants here that may be walking around that's emboldened not only by the position of their father being FBI, but also to the fact that they got away with a murder possibly. Okay? So it's not the 4th of July. So again, it says their father was also an FBI agent who resigned after his home was raided for evidence reported. Ooh, Oh shit. You see what I'm saying? Excuse me. I didn't know the father actually resigned after his house was raided. Social media circulating the image of Johnson's bloated and manipulated body, demanding justice for what looked like an obvious murder case. But obviously, why would he quit? Um, they call Kendrick Johnson our day modern Emmett Till. Okay, so we're gonna go back into this a little bit more and get the people up to date because we're talking about everybody at the same time today, and we want to bring up just why the FBI should have been doing investigation on these particular cases. We're going to continue to move things forward, but those brothers are still walking free right now to this day, 11 years ago. So they're about 28 years old right now, just living their best life. So here I do have, unless they having fireworks outside today, I do have the Lowndes County Sheriff Office findings. So when we follow up on a Kendrick Johnson case, we're going to do a separate one. We're going to read the findings of the Lowndes County, and we're going to find all the discrepancies and just keep his legacy alive, because mom surely wants us to keep his legacy alive. All right, so let's just listen to here where mom says basically the outcome of the investigation was predictable. We have these two young twins who are 28 years old now, 11 years after this murder, who's walking around the state of Georgia with no penalties. And as we hear, the father, who was an FBI agent after his house got raided for evidence, quit, retired, probably still got his pension and everything. Justice or just us? So the Black Wall Street Times, let's listen to this real quick. Hopefully there's no commercials. Kendrick Johnson family says investigation outcome was predictable. Please hit the like.
Kendrick Johnson's family says investigation's outcome was predictable. In an inherently peculiar case that garnered national outrage in 2013, a final decision has been made, and now the case for Kendrick Johnson is now closed. Made official on Wednesday by Lowndes County Sheriff Office's second investigation, Kendrick's parents remain without closure for their son's tragic death. Moreover, even with an earlier FBI analyst, it has yet again been concluded that no evidence exists of a crime in Kendrick's death. What really happened to Kendrick Johnson? Only 17 years of age, Kendrick Johnson was mysteriously found deceased in a rolled-up gym mat at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia on January 10, 2013. Local authorities' investigation that Johnson may have reached into the mat to retrieve a shoe, got stuck, then suffocated has been disputed by his parents, who stated to CBS 46, "Let go of the investigation," Mr. Johnson said. "Let someone coming away higher than this office handle this investigation, because your investigators are not going to uncover something that they helped cover up. I'm just hoping that this time around someone will come in and do their job," Mrs. Johnson said. "Do what they are paid to do. They're not paid to lie. They're not paid to cover it up. They took an oath to protect and serve, and they're not doing any of that." According to the Griot, videotape shows Kendrick walking into the Lowndes High Gym on January 10, 2013. He was later discovered by a teacher the following day rolled up inside a gym mat. Sheriff Ashley Polk told WSB-TV his office reviewed the FBI's findings and 17 boxes of evidence in their inquiry. "From the documents I've read and the investigation I've seen, I feel 100% sure there was no foul play," Polk told WCTV's Katie Kaplan. "When no one's looking, it's a terrible accident, in my opinion," said the sheriff. "Funny how accidents always tend to occur when no one's looking."
Yeah.
In a befuddling case that has taken nearly a decade just to arrive at another stalemate, the family's mistrust is clear. The investigation includes allegations that then-classmates Brian and Brandon Bell had something to do with Kendrick's death. Johnson's parents filed a $100 million wrongful death suit against the brothers on January 15, 2015, but dropped it on March 2, 2016. Over 40 defendants were named in a second lawsuit filed in August 2016.
I think they dropped a lawsuit because it wasn't filed correctly and they had to condense some of the parties and things like that. But when we do our focus review on each of these cases, we're going to find out why mom dropped that case.
Including Kendrick's classmates and school board members. Yet nothing. No charges. No nothing. A judge dismissed it and Johnson's parents were ordered to pay attorney's fees associated with the lawsuits. And all but
And that lawyer, whoever took on that case, knew it was going to be that outcome and knew if they dropped that case that they were going to possibly get penalized from the judge because they wanted to teach them a lesson, not to fight, not to say anything. What we say go. This is a very Confederate state, Georgia is. Very Confederate. I mean, lies stand strong. Whatever story they want to put on you in the court, they put it on you. Just like they tried to do with the YSL case where they tried to just paste things together. And that's why they couldn't beat the RICO or even, be successful in a RICO case because they just lie profusely and it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes they really think that they could just put things together, paste it together. So let's finish off with this, and then we're going to get to our last case, Ms. Shamaji. This was a case that was kind of swept under the rug in some aspects because it went around the same time that the Kanika Jenkins case was happening. Shout out to Chicago. Got a lot going on tonight. At least 2 of the cases is out of Illinois. So let's keep our eye out what's going on out there.
predictable outcome. Jacqueline Johnson stated she is not surprised by the sheriff's findings. We already knew that nothing was going to be done on your watch, she contended. This is how you roll in Valdosta. The Johnson family has never wavered in their belief that Kendrick was murdered. In 2013, their lives were upended, but today they use their unforeseen tragedy to help others who are at risk of the same fate. The Kendrick Johnson Foundation Fund makes its purpose clear. We choose to honor Kendrick by doing what he loved to do the most, helping others. We ask for your continued support in donating to this fund, which will benefit the Kendrick Johnson Foundation's mission to raise awareness on the need for increased supervision and safety within our public schools.
And increased supervision for our Black kids. So I do want to highlight that a lot of these tragedies, the good thing that come out of it is that the parents keep fighting and they keep striving and they actually start organizations that help other people who have been faced with similar situations. I really think that us as the Black community, if we band behind them and really help them enhance their ideas and work as a team, that a lot more can happen in each one of our communities because it's called micro coalitions. So I do want to show this. This is really what's alarming, and we're going to leave that right there before we go on to our next case. But investigation confirmed Brandon Bell off campus. That's his alibi. This was one of the twins that allegedly had roid rage. Within this article, I didn't mention throughout this time, but allegedly that this gentleman had steroid-induced rage, and it was showing a lot in his behavior based on allegations that was brought out around this case. So they said that the sheriff's report included interviews with the Lowndes High School wrestling coach, the bus driver, and several teammates, all of whom insisted that they left Valdosta around lunchtime. And even if they did left around lunchtime, that does not constitute what really happened to Kendrick. So we're going to get into that some more. But again, there's several factors in this that I believe that the FBI actually blotched these cases. And then they were done intentionally, neglectfully, and because us as Black people don't have any status. And I really think that it hurts to hear that, but it is the truth. If you understand status, you'll understand why they treat us the way we do. You have to have a status to represent yourself in the country. And they're taking total advantage of the Black. So again, I want to say I love you guys. I want to say thank you for being here with Grace Levi. Please hit the like button. And I'll see you guys on my next live. Until then, you already know what we're doing. You already know what we're doing.
Guys, this is Super Mayor Tiffany A. Hilliard, the People's Mayor. So, you guys doing a lot of snitching.
my snitching for you. I love a good jam.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
Public comment is she'll just put her head down and she won't listen to anything. She won't acknowledge anything. You know, I've seen mothers of murdered children and people who've lost family members in Dalton. She'll put her head down and she will not even acknowledge that the person is there.
I'm Cara Wilson. I'm the mother of Alexis Wilson, killed by Dalton, Illinois police. At the time that my daughter was killed, Tiffany stood in front of a microphone much like this and said that she stood with the cops and they did do the right thing by killing my 19-year-old child. Not only did she not take those words back, she didn't offer condolences. She's never said anything. The first thing she did was hire this group of security guards to surround her and PR. So the real reason Tiffany has security is hiding from accountability about what she said about Alexis Wilson when she was killed. Now, if you watch the coverage of this murder, these officers violated her rights, reached in her car, jumped in her car, and put 7 bullets in my child. 2 in her head and 5 down her side. And the next day, you guys tried to spin it like she did something. Watch the video. She did nothing to deserve this. And again,